When it's cold out, I'd really rather be inside, and sometimes I want to eat smoked meat, but I don't want to tend a grill all day long in order to be able to get it. And adding a fan controller to a grill saves me a lot of time and effort, gets me as close as I can get to a set it and forget it kind of grill. The ChefsTemp S1 with the Breezo fan added onto it is a great fan controller and is pretty inexpensive when compared to a lot of the other options out there, and we're going to test it on this Kamado. And keep in mind, ChefsTemp sent me both the S1 and the Breezo fan, and they're sponsoring this video. If you haven't seen it, the S1 replaces your lid thermometer on your grill and turns it into a smart grill through the ChefsTemp app. The main unit is removable, so that way you can purchase multiple bases with the probes, and you can move it around from grill to grill. And in my case, I took it off of my gas grill and put it onto my Kamado. This one is a first-gen Kamado from S&S grills, and I used to use it a lot, but it started to fall out of favor as I got other grills that had fan controllers. But all of that is going to change today with the ChefsTemp and the Breezo. The Breezo comes with a USB power brick and a USB-C cable, but any USB-C charger or battery pack should be able to power it. And the mounting kit that comes with it comes with a plate that I used attached to this Kamado. I have two different plates for different size grills, but it would also work with other grills that already have a fan port installed, like the S&S Kettle or a Weber kettle if you drill your own hole in it. And the Breezo fan connected automatically to the S1 without any work, and there are no wires connecting between the two, which for me is super convenient. And that makes it so that way I can control the temperatures from the ChefsTemp app, and since this is Wi-Fi enabled, it allows me to make those changes from anywhere. And one of the things I'm really curious about is how this fan is going to work on different grills, because something like a Kamado might need different fan settings than say a Weber kettle or one of the other grills that this may find itself on. So I wanted to see, does it overshoot? Is it able to maintain the temperatures? And so I set up a cook. I picked up a couple of pork butts, seasoned them, and threw them on the grill. In order to track the temperature, I'm using the ThermData data logger from ThermoWorks, so that way I can record the temperatures that are going on in the grill as well as outside every 12 seconds. I'll be able to look back at that data to determine how consistent it was, both in a variability and a set point standpoint. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the temperatures down to 225 degrees like I wanted. I was doing a little bit of testing before I started the cook, and I ramped up the temperature to about 275 degrees Fahrenheit just to be able to see how it responded, and it went spot on right to the temperature that I set it to within a degree or two. And I thought I had waited long enough and allowed the grill to cool off enough that when I put on the meat, it wasn't going to go back up, but the temperature went right back up to 275 degrees, and likely that's on me for doing it that way. I should have just started and only gotten it up to the temperature that I was shooting for, which was 225 degrees Fahrenheit. One of the adjustments that I made is both with the vent settings up on top, but the Breezo fan itself has its own damper, and so you can close that down if too much air is flowing through the fan, even when the fan isn't running. As I looked at it, I also noticed that that mounting plate had a little bit of a gap between it and the Kamado, which would be a problem with any of these fan style controllers because of the design of the grill itself. And after making those changes and letting things simmer down for just a little bit, it's gotten down to 235 degrees Fahrenheit, so I think it would have worked just fine, but I want to test that from the start to see if I can get to 225 degrees and hold it. So for the sake of this test, I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit to 250 degrees Fahrenheit, later to 275, and we'll see how well it holds at those temperatures. One of the good features that I wanted to mention is the fan pause button, which is the power button. You can hit that and it'll turn the fan off, and that comes in handy when you're filming and you don't want to hear it, or when you lift the lid, you're going to let a lot of cool air in there, which is going to cool down the probe. That's going to trigger the fan to tell it needs to stoke that fire. And the problem is it'll stoke it too much, and then when you shut the lid, it'll usually overshoot the temperature. So you can avoid that altogether with that power button. And then when you're ready to turn it back on, all you got to do is push the button again, and the fan will go on just like it did before. So it's been about 45 minutes since I set it to 250 degrees, and it has been rock steady, but I'm starting to lose my light, so I'm going to turn it up to 275 in a little bit, and the next time you see it, I'm going to go over the data. I'm down in the editing room to bring you results because it's really dark and cold outside. So it turns out not being able to maintain 225 degrees Fahrenheit in the Kamado was all my fault, because I repeated the test and had no problem doing it by gradually raising the temperature rather than trying to drop it down like I did when I was doing my testing initially. So it really goes to show that the better you know your cooker, the better results you're going to have, especially when you're working with a new tool like the Breezo. If you're having trouble maintaining low temperatures in your Kamado with the Breezo, here's an extra tip. If you go up to your exhaust vent, you can close it all the way down if it leaks just a little bit, or leave it open just a small little crack. And that'll keep too much air from flowing through the Kamado and raising those temperatures higher than you want to. That forces the fan to do all the work, so that way you get just the right amount of air. And while I was at it, I did the same test with my Kettle Joe because I wanted to see how it behaved with a thin-walled kettle. And the big difference with this one is that the draft door on it was designed perfectly for this application. The mounting plate bent in nice and tight in there, and so we didn't have any air leaks, and it wasn't loose at all. So how well did it maintain the temperatures? Well, for an hour and a half at a set point of 275 degrees Fahrenheit, it ranged from 282 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 289 degrees Fahrenheit, which is only a range of about 7 degrees. I'm not really worried about the set point being different because I was measuring the temperature at the grill grate level, and the S1 is measuring it up at the lid, and so that's why there's those differences. And that small range combined with a 1.8 degrees standard deviation means that the Breezo was really doing a good job at maintaining a consistent temperature across that cook. And if you're not familiar with statistics, standard deviation is a measure of variation. It figures out how far away from that average point it is, and a smaller number is better. If that number were higher, you'd be seeing lots of peaks and valleys, which we didn't see in this test. I saw a little bit more variation on the Kettle Joe with a range of about 17 degrees Fahrenheit and a standard deviation of 2.9 degrees. And when you consider that it was out in sub-zero temperatures in a thin-walled kettle, a little bit more variation was expected. But the results for both of these were better than I anticipated, and it shows that it's capable of maintaining temperatures in two wildly different grills. So if you're wanting to add the convenience of a fan controller to your grill, the ChefsTemp Breezo is a reasonably priced and good addition to the S1.